Hi everyone, Tina Killerin here. Thanks so much for joining me as we talk a little bit about what exactly good nutrition is. So here's the kind of interesting thing. If I were to ask 100 people what good nutrition means, I would probably get a slight variation of an answer. Everybody would give me little bits and clues and different things of what they think good nutrition is. Good nutrition to them might be, don't eat carbs, avoid all sugar, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers. It could be eat more fresh fruits. It could be eat more vegetables, lean proteins. And in a way, each one of those things is right, but all combined is probably more of the right answer. So when we talk about good nutrition, it's not a one-word answer. It's not a simple statement. There's a little bit more involved with what knowing good nutrition. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what that good nutrition means. But I want to take a step back first, and I want to talk about why most people think about good nutrition, okay? Now, most people, when they start to think about good nutrition, it's because there's a reason. Most people just don't say, I'm going to start eating well, just for the heck of it. Usually, it's because they want to start a journey, whether that's to lose weight, to get off of their high blood pressure medications, to live a longer, healthier life for their children. There's usually a reason why they're starting to look into eating better and having good nutrition. But as you know, there's a lot of people who go on their journeys and they fail. And it's not because you necessarily tripped and you stumbled, although that's quite possible. There's a lot of things that come into play when we talk about why you're failing on your journey. Now, when we say fail, it's not because you've totally fell off the cliff and you're done. Usually it's a stumble. And we all stumble along the way without a doubt. So I want to kind of take you back to the beginning a little bit. Let's take a look at that journey and let's talk about why you may be failing on your health and fitness journey, okay? So we can kind of relate it to 5 different things where you might be having those issues with success, okay? One of them is genetics. You could say that you come from a long line of bad genes. It's quite possible, yes, but let's keep in mind, we all have different DNA. So while you might have a larger frame or a larger bone structure, and you might not get down to a size 2, that's not necessarily a reason of why you can't lose weight and improve your health markers. And when we say your health markers, we talk about all those really important things that the doctor checks when you go for your annual physical, right? They're checking for that blood pressure, good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, and they're looking at all those different things. So even though you say you come from bad genes, there is a way for us to jig your nutrition to improve those health markers. Okay, so when you say I'm fat because that's just in my genes, that's not necessarily true. Let's look at that exercise. Are you moving with intention a couple of days a week? Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out 7 days a week and work out at high intensity in order to lose weight or improve those health markers. If you've lived a sedentary lifestyle for a significantly long period of time, could we get you moving 3 days a week for a half an hour every time? I think we could. So when we say that I'm not losing weight or I'm not improving my health markers, let's look at that exercise. Is exercise holding you back from that? Okay, but there's ways to overcome that. Number 3, physiological. This is me. We all have hormonal issues. All women have some kind of hormonal issue somewhere along the way, somewhere in our lives. So we could, in essence, have imbalances going on in our systems that prevent us from achieving what we're looking to achieve. So a lot of times when I talk to people, I usually ask, when's the last time you went to the doctor and had a full physical and had your full blood work done? If it's been a significantly long period of time and you have been on your journey for a long time and you're not seeing improvement, I'm going to suggest that you do go see the doctor and that you have that blood work done. Because we could be talking about thyroid issues, adrenal issues, GI issues, gut health, things like that. And so sometimes we do have to delve a little bit deeper into what's going on in our systems, and that could be one of the reasons that's holding you back from success. Number 4 is your mindset. Where is your mind? I like to consider it PMA, positive mental attitude. Part of your journey and your success is believing in yourself and believing that you can achieve your goals. If you go into your journey with a negative mindset and you think, I've done this so many times, it's not going to work, guess what? It's not going to work. If you believe that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But if you come into it and you say, you know what, this time it's going to work, that's half the battle right there. So come into it with a positive mental attitude. And the 5th thing, and the most important thing that holds many of us back from success in our health and fitness journey, ultimately comes down to nutrition. Right? I can give you every cliche in the book. Abs are made in the kitchen. You can't outrun a bad diet. You've heard all of those things before, and it's absolutely true. Really, what it comes down to is good nutrition. If you have good nutrition, and we're going to talk about what exactly good nutrition means, if you have good nutrition, you should see success in your health and fitness journey. So I'm going to go through the 5 key elements of what good nutrition really is and what it really means and how we can have success utilizing these things relative to your nutrition so you have success. Number 1 is energy balance. Now, when we talk energy balance, we do talk about calories, and it's not as simply as calories in versus calories out. We want to make sure that there's a good energy balance in our bodies. Here's the thing. All of our bodies are different. I can have somebody who's exact my age, height, and weight, and they could be burning calories totally different than I do. Okay? So there is a fine line there in finding what your energy balance is. Now, while we want to have a negative energy balance, and when we talk about energy balance, again, we talk about those calories in, calories out. While we want to have that negative energy balance or that calorie deficit in order to lose weight, we don't want it to be at such a drastic or significant or severely reduced calorie deficit, because that comes with a whole host of other issues that we don't want going on in our system. So it's a slight negative energy balance, or that slight calorie deficit, is really what we're looking for in order to achieve that weight loss. Consequently, we don't want positive energy balance either, because that's what got us here in the first place, right? Was having too many calories coming in. All right, what happens then? We have weight gain, we have higher cholesterol, we have higher blood pressure, all those host of health-related issues that we want to avoid. So it's a matter of coming up with that healthy energy balance. I'm going to talk more about energy balance tomorrow throughout this series, so stay tuned for tomorrow as we really get into energy balance. Number 2 is talking about nutrient-dense foods versus calorie-dense foods. We want to make sure that we're eating foods that are higher in nutrients, lower in calories, versus the other way around. We want to make sure that we're not eating calorie-dense foods that have little nutritional value. So we need to make sure that our calories and our nutrients are this way, right? More nutrients, less calories. That's what we're looking for. Number 3, it's not always about weight loss. Okay, weight loss is an outcome. That's a result of doing all the things in a positive way. What we really want to do is we want to increase our health markers. We want to be healthier. We want to be more fit. Okay, so that's one of the things we want to do. We want to achieve better health. We also want to increase and have a better body composition. So we want to drop body fat and increase lean muscle mass. Now, that might not result in weight loss, because really what we're looking for is we're looking to drop body fat and increase muscle mass. The other thing that we want to do is we want to improve our performance. Now, when I say performance, I don't necessarily mean athletic performance. I mean just your performance in your everyday life. Do you have more energy? Are you more active? Do you sleep better at night? Those are performance-based things. Are you more productive at work? Do you have a better relationship with your spouse and your children? Those are performance-related things. Now, I want you to think of those three things as circles: health, body composition, performance. Really what we're looking for is the middle. Is if we put all three of those things together, we're really looking for the middle there, okay? Now, if we improve on one of those things, the other two are bound to follow, okay? Number 4, this is a hard one. Are you ready for this one? It's outcome-based, but it's being honest with your outcome, okay? Here's an interesting thought that I want you to kind of consider. There's no cheating in an outcome-based performance, right? With our performance goals, outcome-based performance goals. There's no cheating. You get out of it what you put into it. Totally makes sense, right? This is what we tell our children all the time. The grade that you got on the test is based on what you put into it, right? So your goal at the end, the outcome, whatever happens at the end, is based on what you put into it. So if you're not 100% honest with yourself going through the journey, how do you expect the outcome to be different? So you have to be 100% honest with yourself when it comes to your outcome. Your outcome is based on what you've put into it. And if you are 100% honest with what you've done and what you've been doing, and you haven't achieved those goals, well, then we go back to those limiting factors and we talk about the doctor and stuff. So there are those things that happen too, but I want you to really be 100% honest with yourself. If you've put in the work, you will see the results. If you do not put in the work, you won't see the results. Does that kind of make sense there? So relative to good nutrition, eat those nutrient-dense foods, find that right energy balance, the outcome will happen, right? And number 5, and this is the most important one to me, and I think anybody who knows me understands that this is really where I come from. Number 5, it has to be sustainable. Your new healthy lifestyle has to be sustainable for the long haul. If it's not, you're going to fail, right? So if you go on a diet and you're severely restricting your calories, you're not going to be able to do that for the long haul. You're going to have serious detriment to your body and to your health overall, but it's not sustainable, right? So what we want is a sustainable lifestyle, a way for us to live our lives for the long haul. And whether that's with balance on those cheats and eating really well, an 80-20 rule, a 90-10 rule, it has to be sustainable. So for you, for good nutrition means having energy balance, right? That positive and negative energy balance. It's about eating nutrient-dense foods with a lower calorie content. It's about achieving those health markers, that body composition and those performance goals, right? Conjoining all 3 of those circles right there in the middle. Improve one, the other 2 are bound to follow. Number 4, being outcome-based with honesty. Did you follow your program to the T in order to achieve that goal? And number 5, is it sustainable? It has to be sustainable for the long haul. Okay, so I hope you picked up a little bit something here as we talked about what is good nutrition. And again, tomorrow we're going to talk more about that energy balance, that calories in versus calories out. We need to make sure that we're finding that right balance for you. And again, everybody is different. So there's going to be a little bit of play as we go through that part tomorrow, where you learn about what's better for me versus what's not better for me as it comes to that energy balance. So thanks again for joining me for today for What is Good Nutrition. I look forward to talking to you a little bit more tomorrow about energy balance, and I'll see you on the flip side.